Hello and welcome into the Crisler Center here in a blizzardy Ann Arbor, along with Aydin Abdollahi. I'm Theo Shernoff. Aydin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to a great Big Ten matchup today.
We are about to witness the Oregon Ducks play the Michigan Wolverines for the first time in women's basketball history. These programs have not faced off with each other, as Oregon is a new addition to the Big Ten this year. So uncharted territory for these teams, but they're in similar spots in their seasons. Aydin, what are you looking for out of the Wolverines today?
Yeah, the Wolverines got to start strong. This Oregon team has not scored great this season, but they're a great side defensively. The Michigan Wolverines look to need to start strong, get on a hot streak, start shooting well early, and that's how you can get on this Oregon team's bad side. For the Oregon Ducks, I'm looking at Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott. These are two really streaky shooters. Don't let them get hot early. If you can do that, you'll have them in a good spot. You'll have Sophia Bell as well, who's not starting, but she'll come off the bench, another streaky shooter as well.
You mentioned it. Kelly and Scott, two transfers. Oregon's only double-digit scorers this year, both averaging 10.5 points per game. More of a balanced attack, and honestly more of a little bit of a weaker attack than Michigan. Michigan averages about 10 more points per game than Oregon. 17 more points per game than Oregon. But although that's the case, these teams in similar positions. According to the latest ESPN bracketology, Michigan is projected as a 9 seed right now, Oregon an 8 seed, so very similar spots in the 8-9 game, where you have a decent shot to win a game in March, which is would be a successful season for both of these teams, right? Michigan with this young class, 4 even freshmen that are massive contributors on this team. To get a start in year one with Kim Barzarico with this class and get a win and then grow for these next 3 to 4 years, that would be a massive accomplishment. And then Oregon, the Oregon side as well, a team that relies on transfers, they really weren't supposed to be as good as they are right now. A win in March would be a very successful season for Coach Kelly Graves.
Absolutely. Such a young Wolverine team, and they've shown such maturity in this season. They've grown really well into this KBA side, and I've really enjoyed how they've gelled together.
Oregon's 2 leading scorers, Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott, both 5'8" guards, so neither of them bringing a lot of height to the table, but as a team that plays a lot of 6', 6'1"ers like Michigan does, that can sometimes be tough to stay in front of. And it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of that matchup today, as Michigan will have the size, but it's likely Oregon does have the quickness and speed advantage.
Definitely. And looking at number 15 on the Ducks, Filipina Shea, who is a presence on defense, even when she doesn't get the block. Just her presence alone is enough to put off these shooters, so they're going to have to work around her when the Wolverines are on offense.
Yeah, and a 6'8" senior center is Che. She's going to tower over the rest of the court, to say the least. Michigan does run out a 5-guard lineup. It is a 5 big guard lineup, though. Olivia Olson is listed as a guard. She's 6'1". Then they have Holloway, Hobbs, who's 6'3", Swords, and Cam Schrader. This lineup has started 20 out of 21 games for these Wolverines. So although it's 3 freshmen in there, they have a lot of experience this year.
Yep.
Michigan has struggled against teams that are high caliber this year. They've knocked off 1 on the road, that's Minnesota. Otherwise, they've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat, lost to the teams they're supposed to lose to, right? Kind of find themselves right in the middle. That's what ends you up at a 9 seed. This would be a massive win, a statement win over these Ducks that are on a 4-game winning streak and 7-3 in conference. We'll step aside for the national anthem. We'll be back.
At this time, I ask that you please rise and table and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the singing of our national anthem. The colors are presented today by the University of Michigan Air Force ROTC, and the anthem is performed by 3-year breast cancer survivor, Carrie Mueller.
Here in Crisler Center, it is the pink game in support of breast cancer awareness. A beautiful sight all throughout the crowd. So there are pink jerseys, pink shirts everywhere. And it's really a great thing that college basketball does. They put on a pink game. A lot of different schools do it. Michigan, I know Providence is pretty famous for it. It's really pretty. In Michigan, the Wolverines will have a lot of pink highlights tonight in their jerseys. Just seconds away from opening tip. Oregon does run out the lineup of Muhammad, Mevius, Scott, Shea, and Kelly. So that 3 guard, 1 forward, 1 center lineup where Michigan has 5 listed guards. Aydin, who's the one player to watch? If you had to say one player to maybe step up a little more than their average workload for Michigan today, who would you call on?
Out of the starters, I would say Greta Kampschrader, one of the only returners from last year, hasn't really turned it up too much this season, as much as some projected her to. She's had a decent showing in a lot of games, but I'm looking at her to step up today. Off the bench, I'm looking at Yulia Grabovskaya as well, who I think has improved a lot. So I think she can bring a lot to this Wolverine side off the bench as well. Yeah,
Grabovskaya is likely the best solution for Che on defense. Although Che is a 6A center, she hasn't been that much of a threat on offense, only averaging 7 points a game. But Grabovskaya is the Wolverine center who I'm guessing if she was asked if there was someone asked to shut her down, it would be Grabovskaya.
Absolutely.
Out of Rostov-on-Don, Russia. A packed student section. Decently full bowl here in Crisler Center, and a really cold day outside. There are inches of snow piling up on the ground.
Yeah, it's been coming down all morning. Sure, everyone would be glad to stay inside for the next 2 hours or so. You mentioned that Minnesota win for the Wolverines. That's their only ranked win this season so far. Lost to number 10 Oklahoma, lost to number 4 USC, number 1 UCLA. But traveled to number 23 Minnesota and got the win 70-65. So struggled against top teams this year, as you said earlier, beating who they're supposed to beat, but not really creating that upset win just yet.
This would be a breakout for Michigan as they are in their home yellow jerseys. Mila Holloway rocking a pink headband. You know, I used to rock a pink headband back in my day. It had a little lift logo on it. They called me the driver.
Did they?
Yeah. Oregon in their away green uniforms with a lot of yellow. Oregon never fails to disappoint with their uniforms.
I love that. I love that green color. Now, Holloway, always a standout player for the Wolverines. That pink hairband will help her stand out just a little bit more.
It's taking a little longer to start here as we're listening to some great confessionals from breast cancer survivors. Really, it's just a fantastic sight here to see. They put that on.
Yep. Always good to spread awareness for breast cancer.
Coach KBA for the Michigan Wolverines, Kim Barnes-Zurico, has her best recruiting class she's had as the coach of the Michigan Wolverines. 2 5-stars, 2 top 5 recruits in Olivia Olson and Silas Swords, and then bringing in Mila Holloway to Yala Delfos. A lot of promising young pieces for this team, and those 4 are going to be the building blocks for this team as long as they don't give them away like the Mavericks did Luka Doncic last night.
Definitely. 3 freshmen coming in. Really just been thrown into the deep end, starting pretty much every game. 21 games out of 21. The only one that hasn't started 21 games is Silas Swords, who is out for only 1 game. But they've really taken on the pressure with ease, and they look like veterans on the court.
We are set for tip-off. As it is Filipina Che and Olivia Olson. Che has the 7-inch height advantage, and she wins the tip. Controlled by Oregon, Peyton Scott.
Don't think it shocked anyone who won that tip.
Peyton Scott to Muhammad. Now over to the right wing. Scott again. Now into the corner. Up top. Back to Muhammad. Over on the left wing. Oregon yet to get penetration. Shot from the left corner. Rebound Shea. Back up good. Second chance point for Oregon right away.
Shea's presence felt already. Snatched up that rebound and hit in the easy lay.
Now Mila Holloway for the Wolverines. Oregon comes out in a zone. Mevius up top in a little bit of a 3-2 zone. Into the corner for Olson, right wing 3. It goes! Olivia Olson starting the game hot.
That's
right
huge.
Corner.
That's huge. I said before the game started they need to start shooting hot early, and that's a great start for Olivia Olson and a great start for the Wolverines.
Elisa Mevius over to Che. Back up top, Muhammad. Hands off to Mevius from Germany. Now over to Scott. Gets shown a hedge by Jordan Hobbs. Now Scott on the right wing, looking for help. 5 on the shot clock. Muhammad dribbling left. Hands off to Deja Kelly. Hedged by Hobbs. Shot clock at 1, and it expires.
That's beautiful, beautiful defense from the Wolverines. Everyone stayed set. No one bit, and they let the clock run down. That's great defense.
Oregon not even close to getting a shot off. Holloway crosses the timeline. Drives left on Mevius. Brings the ball back out. Now Swords. Shadowed by Scott. Back to Holloway. Holloway crosses over. Baseline kick corner. Hobbs 3. No, long. Rebound Olson. Drop step. Shot with her right hand. It goes, and the foul. Olivia Olson putting the state of Michigan on her back. Wolverines lead 5-2.
Olson starting off so well. She put in that shot through heavy, heavy contact. Did so well to let it fall in. She'll have a chance to make it 3.
Olson coming off a team high for the season, 30 points against Wisconsin in their last game, tying Silas Swords' team high from earlier this year. So she just starts to pick it up. Wolverines, that's another piece for their offense, and she'll be a massive contributor in March. Oregon now the other way. Deja Kelly at the top of the key, and there's a foul called on the left wing on Olson as she got tangled up with Peyton Scott, the transfer from Miami of Ohio. Elisa Mevius inbounds the ball to Deja Kelly. the North Carolina grad transfer. Drives left, picks up a screen from Muhammad. Swords fights through the screen. Now back to Muhammad at the top of the key. Looking for Shea, can't find her. Now Kelly, back to Mevius in the corner. Shot clock at 3 once again. Mevius, nowhere to go. Throws the pass into the maze rage, out of bounds. Michigan's defense stifling Oregon, yet to get a real look other than that first putback.
Amazing defense. 2 straight possessions, not even letting him get a shot off and letting the clock run down. Just so solid on D, the Wolverines starting off.
Mila Holloway on the right wing, looking for Olsen inside, can't find her. Camp Schrader drives left on Shea. Good recovery by the 6'8" big. Hobbs loses her dribble a little bit, gets it to Camp Schrader, 3-ball, swish! Greta Camp Schrader.
There we go. I said
extends the Michigan lead.
I said I hope Camp Schrader picks it up a little bit today. Great to see her get a 3 early on.
Oregon down 7 early. Pass into Shea. Goes up for the easy layup. She had position on Camp Schrader. Quick the other way is Michigan. Swords top of the key. Now to Camp Schrader on the right corner. Thinks about a 3. Dribbles it back out with her left hand. Wolverines with some cutting action. Now Holloway picks up a Camp Schrader screen. Back to Camp Schrader. Gets by Shea. Back out to Holloway. 3-ball. Long. Rebound to Muhammad.
That's good ball movement to get the shot off. Just a little too strong from Holloway, but I like the movement.
9-4 Michigan here. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Muhammad fights in, throws up a shot, rattles around and out. Rebound Jordan Hobbs. She pushes the pace in transition. Attacks behind the back on Kelly. Pump fake, step through, back out Holloway. Drives left, puts up a layup. Good! Mila Holloway attacking a closeout. Michigan leads 11-4.
Holloway, another great play. It's good to see the points spreading out just a little bit. Like to see all the freshmen, all the players get some points early on.
Peyton Scott pulls up, passes out to Mevius. Left wing 3-ball, way off. Rebound Olivia Olsen.
First 3-point attempt of the day for the Ducks.
Shea struggling to get back in transition. Olsen attacks that hole that Shea left. And rebound goes to Camp Schrader on the ground. It will be a jump ball. Shea looked like she got hit in the face. She's down on one knee, holding her eyes. Olsen attacked in front of Shea, pulled up for the layup. It was short. Shea got a hand on the rebound and then immediately winced and grabbed her face as she's now being tended to by Oregon's athletic trainers, and there will be a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, I hope Philly Shea's okay, but you see it early on, just Philly Shea's presence in the paint underneath the basket is almost like a cheat code for the Ducks. And then we see their first 3-point attempt of the day was too strong, but we're going to see the Ducks try to find Shea a lot in the paint early on and throughout this whole entire game.
So right now the ruling is a jump ball, which would be Michigan possession, but the referees are looking at the replay to see if there was any contact to the face, any chance for a flagrant foul. As Shea did look like she got hit in the face, but we do not know by what at this point in time. But Michigan, nevertheless, still a really successful start. 11-4, 5:49 left in the first quarter. Oregon's a team that starts hot. In their last outing against Michigan State, they blew the doors off the Spartans early and then slowed down late. Only 1 field goal in the entire fourth quarter was by Deja Kelly. But they held on. Oregon got a win over a ranked Michigan State team at Breslin. Michigan just lost by 30 at Crisler to Michigan State. So if that logic was perfectly sound, we would see Oregon come in here and win. But that's not how sports work. We know that.
Olsen starting off hot. Camp Schrader with the 3-pointer. Hobbs and Swords not yet scored. But a really strong start from Olivia Olsen. Good to see Camp Schrader get a 3 early on. Really strong showing offensively for the Wolverines so far.
It was critical for this team to start hot. So Oregon is a team that starts hot, but Michigan also started hot last game and then absolutely collapsed in the third quarter. So this first quarter, while crucial, is not
Gotta stay
the
disciplined.
entire game. You need to play 40 minutes of solid basketball in a league like the Big Ten to secure conference victories.
Anything can happen in the Big Ten. Doesn't matter how well you start, gotta stay strong for the whole game.
in arguably the toughest conference in women's hoops this season. Michigan finds himself right in the middle. Oregon closer to the top with a 7-3 conference record. Michigan is 500 at 5-5. It will be Michigan ball. No intentional contact after review, so Holloway will inbound under the hoop for the Wolverines. Finds Swords, short corner, jumper, cash.
So good at those mid-range shots, Swords. Good to see her get some points. Finally, 13-4.
Silas Swords, catch and shoot, mid-range jumper goes. Now Scott the other way for the Ducks. Behind her, back on Olsen. She's 5 inches shorter than Olsen, still looking to attack. Now Kelly working on Swords, over to Mevius. Now into the paint. Rambis is called for a charge.
Yeah, just barged into Hobbs, I believe it was.
Sarah Rambis, the Flint, Michigan native. Aydin, you said she had a lot of fans at the Michigan State game.
Yep. Don't know if they're in attendance today, but
they wouldn't make noise on that play anyway. It was a charge on her.
We'll see when she scores. We'll know how many people she has in attendance.
Now Holloway on the right wing. Skip pass to Camp Schrader. Back up top, Hobbs. Crosses over on Rambis. Now picks up her dribble. Into a cutting sword. Left-handed layup. Goes.
What a pass from Hobbs. Found an opening inside, and the layup was easy when it got to her, but what a find from Hobbs.
Oregon needs a response. They're down 11 early. Deja Kelly uses the screen. Now to Falatea. Left wing three. Rattles home. Oregon with a much-needed three to stop the bleeding. But Michigan quick the other way. Holloway throws a pass that bounced off of Camp Schrader's hands and out of bounds.
Yeah,
a good pass, poor reception.
It's a good ball, and she'll check out now, but they could just thinking about the next step before collecting the ball, and it just slipped out of her fingers. But second three-point attempt from the Ducks. Falatea got that one to fall down.
She is a 40% three-point shooter on the year. So the Wolverines knew they had to keep an eye on her, but she still got one off and got one in. Now Deja Kelly drives left on Swords, cuts in front, layup off back rim. Rebound Olsen, pushing in transition once again. Hobbs, the outlet pass, drives left. Layup, takes contact, and goes! No foul call, but Jordan Hobbs floating through the air off glass for two.
Hit that one through heavy contact. Maybe should have been a foul, I don't know, but Hobbs did well to play through it.
Kelly swings the ball and receives it back. Now to Peyton Scott. Falatea uses the screen into Rambis. Olsen steps in front, and another charging call on Sarah Rambis. She does not get the Michigan native whistle. 2 early charges, and she'll check out of the game.
Got to be careful, Rambis. 2 very early charges and 2 and 3 straight possessions for the Ducks.
Michigan's help side defense is on time today. Olivia Olsen stepped in front before Rambis even turned to face the hoop, and Rambis ran her over. You can't do that. Michigan the other way with a 10-point lead, just under 4 minutes left. Olsen, a fadeaway 2. No, but fighting through Ducks is Van Timmeren, who can't come away with the rebound. Peyton Scott the other way. Missed all of last season with a season-ending injury in the season opener. Katie Fiso on the right wing. Swing to Whitfield. Back to Fiso. The Washington State Gatorade Player of the Year. Drives right with a little space. Floater off the front of the rim. Gets her own rebound. Kick out. 3. Swish.
Can't get her hot.
Peyton Scott silences the crowd. Mila Holloway the other way. Into Swords. Thinks about a 3. Van Timmeren will reset to Holloway up top at the Michigan logo. Now on the left wing to Olsen. Uses a Hobbs screen and then throws the ball to Oregon. Ball must have slipped out of her hands. Whitfield picks it up for the Ducks. 2:39 left in the first quarter.
Can't let Scott get some confidence.
Peyton Scott uses a screen. Now inside was a pass from Sophia Bell trying to find Alexis Whitfield. And Van Timmeren, no, Olivia Olsen was called for the hold down low.
Sophia Bell finally into the game.
She is the lone player on this Oregon team that is from the state of Oregon. Little interesting tidbit as they recruit mostly out of state. They are a school that has the funds to do that. Peyton Scott, a catch and shoot 2. No, rebound Silas Swords. Pushing in transition. Hobbs has a wolf on her. Goes up, takes contact, and she'll earn herself a trip to the line.
Yeah, Oregon had a huge numbers advantage there as Hobbs went up for the right-handed layup. A little bit careless to give away the foul.
Foul on Katie Fiso. Hobbs at the line. A 75% free throw shooter on the year, and that holds true as she knocks down the first. No trouble. Hobbs, the second, goes identical to the first. And Grabovskaya, the Wolverine center, checks in for Jordan Hobbs, as well as Tayala Del Foss.
Tayala Del Foss doesn't get too many minutes off the bench, but every time she comes in, injects that little bit of energy.
Been a bigger piece as of recent. She played a lot of minutes in that first half against Michigan State and played really well. An offensive foul now, as there was just a handoff up top, a dribble handoff, and Sophia Bell was called for the illegal screen as Holloway is trying to fight through it. I'm not sure about that call, but Wolverine fans will take that. 19-10, 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Holloway at the block M, shadowed by Fiso.
Grabovskaya in there.
Q Daniels into the game. Now to Del Foss on the right wing. Swords cuts through. Del Foss looking for help, drives right, picks up her dribble in the corner, and it'll be a 3 seconds call on Yulia Grabovskaya. She pitched a tent in the post and didn't think about getting out.
Not a great introduction for Grabovskaya.
And now Grabovskaya checks out of the game, in for all of about 16 seconds. But Filipina Che did check back in. So Kim Barnes-Arico seeing a matchup that she doesn't like, which is Che on Grabovskaya, and opting to go for the shorter Camp Schrader to shadow the 6'8" big. Fiso crosses the timeline for the Ducks. Uses screen, pulls back. Now into the corner. Whitfield picks up her dribble. Fiso tries to get a pass in, deflected by Camp Schrader. Now Whitfield backing down from the free throw line, looking for space. Camp Schrader doesn't give her any. Pump fake. Layup. No! Rebound Swords. Suffocating defense by the Wolverines. Swords to Holloway. Drives baseline. Takes contact. Puts up a shot. And Oregon, once again, late in transition, fouls Mila Holloway, and she'll earn 2 shots from the charity stripe.
These Wolverines are so solid on defense in this first quarter. Just so disciplined, not budging, and often forcing the Ducks to go for the illegal screen or chuck up shots, and it's not working out for the Ducks. Pays off for the Wolverines as they transition.
Holloway, a good free throw shooter, 77% on the year, knocks down the first. Holloway, the third freshman on this team, but she's just as crucial of a piece as those 2 5-stars. She runs the offense, she sets things up, and she'll be a massive piece these next few years.
She's the architect.
Fiso picks up her dribble in the right corner into Che. Che gets flashed to double by Daniels and Camp Schrader. Corner 3, Whitfield. Good. Michigan choosing to double the low post, and Filipina Che showing her ability to pass out of that double team. Excellent skill for all bigs to have. Holloway at the left wing, pressured by Katie Fiso. Over to Camp Schrader on the right wing. Michigan not connecting with these clean passes. Now Holloway looking for a little ISO ball. Into the corner, Q Daniels. Nice Euro step, off glass. Beautiful move by Brooke Q Daniels, the Oakland transfer, excuse me. She cashes in for 2. Michigan up 10, 30 seconds left in the quarter. 5 seconds separating game and shot clock. 20 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock. Holloway steps in front of a pass from Long and finishes with her right hand. The easy layup. Michigan extends their lead to 12. Shot clock is dark. 9 on the quarter clock. Fiso behind her back 2 times through her legs. 3 on the game clock. Pass to the corner. long pull up, and it goes.
shot.
Buzzer beater. That was Falatea at the buzzer. Nice Euro step. But Michigan cruises to a 10-point lead in this first quarter.
Great start. Great start, and I said that the defense has been so disciplined, but not only that, the ability to get the stop and transition too, and get points out of transitions as well has been so solid. And they've just run over the Ducks in this first quarter.
Michigan up 25-15. It's been the freshman. It's been Olsen to start it off, and then Holloway to finish it, as well as some nifty moves by some other players. Holloway and Olsen each have 6. Hobbs has 4. Kind of stuffing the stat sheet everywhere is Olivia Olsen. 3 rebounds, but also the 2 fouls, which likely will keep her sitting for a few more minutes in this first half.
Yeah, and we saw on that one play where they got the 3, the Ducks, where Philly Shea in the paint just attracts so much attention. Even if she's not the one shooting, she attracts all those players to her, leaves players open beyond the arc, and you know some of these Ducks can shoot the 3.
Yeah, Aydin, we've seen the Ducks, most of their success has been coming from inside to out, right? Getting a paint touch with Shea or trying to drive into the paint. What can the Wolverines do to silence the 6'8" center?
Yeah, maybe the double teams aren't working out. Grabovskaya hasn't been on the floor for long. I mean, 10-point lead, you don't have much to lose. Put her in there for a few minutes, see how she matches up against Philly Shea. Because the double teams don't seem to be working, but it's still early. Maybe KBA has an answer for it.
So you'd suggest going away from the double teams on the center?
I would say so, yeah.
I'm going to take the converse side. I think the double teams are working. I think the help side that they're flashing to her is what got Sarah Rambis in foul trouble, right? They drew 2 charges on her. I think that's good because if you let Shea get good position inside, it's pretty easy to throw an entry pass to get her the ball in a position where she can score. So I'm not against the double teams. And if Oregon knocks down contested catch-and-shoot threes, that might happen. But consistently, Oregon's three-point shooting is it less than 30%. So I'd say you'll live. They're 29.4% on the year. I think Coach Kim Barnes-Rico would live with that. Aydin's going to take over play-by-play for this quarter.
Here's Fiso with the ball now, hands it into Philly Shea, double teamed again. First layup no good, gets it right back, kicks it right back out. And that 3 from Fiso is good. Here's Jordan Hobbs now coming up the other way.
Yeah, we just talked about that catch-and-shoot 3 off the double team, but that was off of an offensive rebound. It's the easiest three-pointer in basketball.
Here's Cam Schrader at the elbow. Gives it to the corner for Hobbs for 3. No good off the rim. Here's Philly Shea now. Slows it down. Hands it off to Sophia Bell. Up against El Foss. Gives it right to Katie Fiso. Little Euro step from her, and she finds an opening and lays it in with her right hand. Here come the Wolverines the other way.
Just like that. Oregon, a quick 5-0 spurt to start this second quarter. Started all by Katie Fiso, the freshman who averages less than 5 per game.
Lead dwindling a little bit already. Here's Hobbs now. Drives to the baseline. And that's a foul.
Late call there on Filipina Shea as Hobbs threw a pass right to an Oregon defender, but it was called for a foul on the baseline as Shea gave her a little bit of a shove.
Yeah, feeling her presence there. A little bit unnecessary from Shea because Hobbs had already given up the ball, but bailed out just a little bit there. All the way to inbound from the baseline.
Kim Barnes-Rico immediately putting back her starters, sensing a little bit of urgency here. You want to keep that lead while you have it.
Definitely, and that baseline inbound was intercepted almost by Sophia Bell, but it'll stay with the Wolverines.
Yeah, Michigan loving that double curl concept with Holloway taking the ball out and Olsen and Swords running curls. But Oregon has figured that out at this point, and neither of them are open.
Here's Holloway to inbound from the corner. She's got Philly Shea. Not much space to pass around her. Goes into Olsen and hits her knees and out of the baseline for an Oregon ball.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate series of events when you have a 6'8" center jumping up and down, denying an inbound pass from the corner. It's tough to get the ball in, and Oregon catches a break.
Whitfield, top of the key, gives it to the left wing for Sophia Bell. Deja Kelly now up against Swords. Gets a screen from Shea. Drives to the right lane. Here's an open Whitfield for three. No good. Philly Shea challenges for the rebound with Swords. And the Ducks pick up the foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that was a foul. Camp Schrader looked like she had a clean box out. Shea went up and got the ball and was hit up top by Swords, but it looks like they called it on Camp Schrader. So interesting decision there, and Coach Kim Barnes-Rico is not thrilled with that call, as that's her defender she's electing to drape over Philippine.
I wouldn't be
Shea.
thrilled with that one either. Now here's Oregon to inbound it, and that shot from Sophia Bell is way off. Don't know if it got a tip or not. Here's Olsen coming up the other way. Hands it off to Hobbs behind the back. Nice move, but can't get the shot off. Philly Shea rejected it. Here's Deja Kelly. Corner three from Sophia Bell. Back of the rim, no good. Now here's Olsen to pick it up. Olsen driving coast to coast and lays it in with the left hand. Olsen with the two. 27-20.
Beautiful move from Olivia Olsen in transition, attacking Filipina Shea. Going over the top with her left hand high off the glass.
Kelly now. She's got Swords on her at the top of the key. Passes it to the left wing for Sophia Bell. She thought about the shot, but went inside to Philly Shea, and that's stripped away by Camp Schrader as she hands it off to Olsen. Olsen to Hobbs. Swords open three. That one was an air ball from Swords. But what a play from Camp Schrader to strip the ball away from Shea.
Yeah, she's been the defensive player of the game for the Wolverines. Coach Kim Barnes-Rico knew what she was getting up to when she put the smaller Camp Schrader on Filipina Shea, and she snatched the ball, Michael Jordan style, out of the hands of the center, who was checked out of the game.
Mohammed inbounds to Kelly. Kelly has got Swords in front of her. Drives to the left wing, back to the right wing. Bounce pass inside to Shea. Kicks out to Falatea. Her three is no good. Olsen cleans up. Now here's Hobbs. Tries to find space against Sophia Bell, and that they both hit the deck, and I think the ball will stay with the Wolverines.
Jump ball. Oregon missed their last 5 field goals.
My mistake, it'll be a jump ball.
But that is still Michigan possessions as Oregon began the quarter with the ball.
So here's Holloway to inbound from the sideline, hands it off to Olsen, gets a little tip from Scott. Olsen drives to the right, gives it to an open Delphos for three. No good. And she hits the deck.
Tayala Delphos knew that shot was off right away.
Yeah, started
followed
running
her
right away.
shot immediately and picked up the rebound and or foul to secure the ball back for these Wolverines. That's the type of hustle she brings off the bench. Freshman, the unspoken about freshman, but she's just as big a part of this team and is a big spark plug off the bench. But we are seeing, Aydin, Olivia Olsen drawing that double team and immediately passing out of it is leading to open looks for the rest of these players.
Definitely. Now here's Holloway to inbound from the baseline. Swords finds an opening at the corner. Drives inside into the paint now. Van Timmerman kicks out to Delphos. Makes a move. Opens up Swords. Swords at the right wing. Drives down the right lane. And that one's tipped by Mevius. Now here's Scott coming up the other way. Wolverines transition back quickly. Mid-range shot from Scott, no good. And Shea lost out. Now here's Swords. 6 seconds left in the quarter. Holloway making a move on Mohammed and makes it. What a move and what a basket by Holloway.
Yeah, with just 6 minutes left in this quarter, Mila Holloway emerging as another offensive threat. Silas Swords has been silenced.
Here's Scott now, gives it off to Mevius. Mevius finds an opening. And that's a three from Mevius. It's way off.
Yeah. Bell has airballed 2 of her last 3 shots. the maze, or the pink rage we'll call it for today, letting her hear about it. That was a 3-ball that was a little contested, we'll call it mildly contested, and she airballed way long. Oregon, 0 for their last 7, has not put a point on the board in over 3.5 minutes.
29-20 now. Here's Del Foss at the right wing. Hands it right off to Hobbs. Holloway finding an opening at the left wing. Back to Hobbs. He drives in, stops, kicks out to Holloway. Holloway inside. Great pass to Quarles Daniels, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, Oregon caught sleeping on those backdoor cuts, and Q Daniels is the type of player to capitalize on that. She finds her wins on the margins.
Falatea now. Here's Fiso at the block end. She drives in and
an offensive foul call.
Offensive foul. So another cheap turnover for the Ducks. Gives it straight back to the Wolverines.
I think Fiso had a step or even a step and a half on Van Timmeren there, but Falatea a little away from the ball, choosing to illegally screen, and Michigan picks up another break. Oregon has had a number of offensive fouls here early.
Yeah, here's Quarles Daniels now up against Scott. She's got Hobbs inside, finds her. Del Foss for her second 3 attempts, 0 for 2 now as that one hits the rim and goes over the basket and out.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing thing as a shooter when it hits the rim and goes over the basket out of bounds. But it really wasn't that far off, just an unfortunate bounce. Oregon, though, giving up a lot of open attempts off this simple off-ball screen action for Michigan. They have a curling slasher, right? It's Hobbs or it's Swords or sometimes it's even Olsen. A curling slasher following the lane line. If they can get her the ball in the curl, she has an attack and then a kick to the short corner. If they can't find her, there's often a pop at the top of the key that's open that they're hitting for an open look, and Oregon just hasn't figured out a solution. They've tried zone a couple times. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn to that again, but right now Kelly Graves looking for any answer to this Wolverine offense.
If you're Kelly Graves right now, super experienced coach for the Ducks, what do you change about your team to get back into this game?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a zone. I think without Shea on the court, a zone is a little bit more of an issue, but if she's on the court, you can kind of funnel everything inside to that 6'8" center. And then if you're playing small like they are right now, I'm not against the man-to-man, but I think you need to run a lineup that is switchable, right? Because that's where Michigan gets their advantage. They play 1 through 5 switchable when Grabovskaya isn't on the court. Their point guard can guard the center, their center can guard the point guard, and that's why they're able to stick with Oregon right now, is they don't really care who's guarding the ball. They trust all of their defenders. But right now Oregon is running into mismatches. They're trying to fight through screens, and it's hard to fight through multiple screens at once if you're just trying to chase a trailer.
Absolutely, as this 11-point game continues. 4 minutes, 42 seconds left in this half as the lead grows for the Wolverines.
I think Kim Barnes-Arico has really out-coached Kelly Graves up to this point. Came in with an excellent strategy. I don't think Kelly Graves would have predicted that Cam Schrader would have been the primary defender on Filipina Che. And then also this help side rotation that Olivia Olsen has brought has shut down Sarah Rambis. So both of Oregon's centers, who are their center pieces of their offense, have been shut down early. And then Kelly and Scott have not found anything on by themselves and not been able to create any shots. It's really been Katie Fiso, the only offensive plug right now.
As we get ready to play again, Wolverines just getting out of their huddle. Here's Fiso now. He's done so much for the Ducks in this half. Falatea now. She's got Hobbs in front of her. Drives to the left. Long 2 from Fiso. Off the rim. Quarles Daniels cleans up. Now here's Del Foss at the left wing. Hands it off to Holloway. Holloway looking for an opening. Gets a screen from Van Timmerman. Timmerman inside now.
Shea back on the court. Shea back on the court.
That's a travel. Another Turnover for the Wolverines.
Yeah. Van Timmeren on the court being guarded by Che. Che is in drop coverage as Van Timmeren has not really shown an ability to shoot the ball this year, so it's pretty easy for Che to just guard the rim, and that is what caused Holloway to hesitate and walk.
Scott now into Fiso at the block M. Up against Swords, inside to Shea. Battling against Van Timmeren, and she wins that battle for the easy layup. Holloway now looking to respond. 31-22 now. Holloway conducting traffic. Gives it out to Swords, who hands it off to Quarles Daniels. Here's Hobbs now at the right wing. Spins away from Falatea. Gives it to an open Quarles Daniels, and
a 3-second call on
3-second
Van
violation.
Timmeren. And yeah, I was just about to say I wouldn't mind seeing Coach KBA take Van Timmeren out. Seems to be a little bit of a mismatch on both ends of the court. But what did work for the Wolverines is they are running a pack line defense. They're hedging that screen, that high ball screen by Filipina Che, and not allowing the ball handler to get around it.
So the Van Timmeren experiment comes to an end. Cam Strader back in. Here's Fiso now. Drives down the right lane. Gives it to Philly Shea, who misses the layup now.
Great rotation by Hobbs.
Swords cleans up. Hands it off to Hobbs. Kicks it out to Holloway. Holloway, nice little move.
Ooh.
And hits a shot off the glass. Tough move and shot by Holloway. 33-22 now.
She is shifty. Nice behind the back. Left-handed high layup off the glass.
Scott now looking to create something. She's got Hobbs right in front of her. Hands it right off to Falatea. Falatea to Mevius. Behind the back move, trying to create something against Holloway. Inside, good ball to Scott, but she can't get her shot to fall. Now here's Quarles Daniels in transition. Quarles Daniels gives it to Holloway. She's at the right wing. Across to Hobbs at the opposite wing. Swords now. Gets a screen from Hobbs. Drives down the right lane. Underneath the basket, finds an opening and scores.
Silas Swords too quick for the big concrete feet of Filipina Che. And Oregon is running out of answers. Let me tell you what it is right now. Oregon's two offensive guards, right? Scott and Kelly are both too small for these Michigan guards, right? Their main source of offense throughout the year, their only 10-point-per-game scorers, cannot stay in front of Holloway, who, as the shortest player for Michigan, is still 2 inches taller for them. That's causing Filipina Che to be out of position, and that's leaving a wide-open player on the opposite side, or just a player like Silas Swords, who's too quick for her, and will just scoot her way around, slice her way around her, if you will, for the easy layup.
I like that. Slices her way. Swords too quick. Almost snuck in there, just behind everyone, and there was no one on her when she took on the shot. Can't give her that kind of space. So 35-22, 2 minutes left. Here's Fiso. Quarles Daniels with the pressure. And that shot from Atute is no good. Swords cleaning up. Swords into Olsen. Shot from the free throw line from Camp Strader. Hits the front of the rim, and that's going to be a foul.
Jump ball.
It's going to be a jump ball.
Swords and Scott were fighting for it, and that's just because Swords is taller than Scott. Right now, Coach Kelly Graves is throwing darts at a wall, hoping one of them will stick. She put Atute into the game, looking for maybe a different type of big. But Atute, she got an open look, but missed it, as she clearly hasn't played as much.
It's going to be
and now Atute gets called for an offensive foul, just out of position. Coach Kelly Graves has not found anyone other than Katie Fiso and then the two guards that have been able to produce anything productive.
Here's Swords now. Hobbs against Atute. Behind the back again, finds an opening. Atute stays strong, but gets the shot off, and it almost rolls in, but comes out at the last second. Here's Scott to clean up.
Whoa.
Three-pointer from Scott. That's way off. Hits the glass, not even the rim. Swords into Hobbs. Hobbs looking for an opening, finds Camp Schrader. Swords at the top of the key. Quarles Daniels to the corner for Olsen. Drives inside and loses the ball, but gets it right back. Now here's Hobbs. Hobbs hits a three, and it goes in. Unexpected three from her. Early shot, and it
Jordan Hobbs from
shot.
NBA range cashes in a three.
38-22 as the clock dwindles. 20 seconds left. Now here's Fiso for the Ducks. Looking to end the half on a good note. Just waiting for an opening. Gets a screen from Atute. Drives down the right lane and hits a shot, no good. But Atute gets the rebound and finds Fiso wide open under the basket, and she lays in an easy shot as the half will end there. 38-24 to the Wolverines, as the Wolverines started off so strong, disciplined on defense, really good in transition, and there's only really been one team in this game, and that's the Wolverines.
I truly believe that every Wolverine feels like they can win their isolation matchup right now. They're all looking to attack by themselves and kind of got a little carried away there at the end, all of them thinking they had it. But Jordan Hobbs, a bailout three, Paul George style. She thought the shot clock was expiring, and I believe it reset as she released it. But it doesn't matter. Didn't even sniff the rim. Jordan Hobbs extends the Michigan lead. Michigan up 14 going into the break.
So let's look at a little bit of team comparisons. The Wolverines shooting 58% from the field compared to the Ducks 32%. The Ducks not shooting very well.
But Michigan's have mostly come on layups. They only have 3 3-pointers and then 12 2-pointers. And Oregon is actually shooting decently from 3. 4 for 10. Not bad, 40% above their season average, but really have not been able to create anything inside. They're just 6 for 21 from inside the 3-point line.
So the Wolverines 100% on free throws, 5 for 5. The Ducks yet to shoot one. So the Wolverines staying strong on defense and staying clean. Not committing any fouls that lead to free throws.
Yeah, Rambis getting the foul trouble early, I think, caused a little bit of issues for Graves' team. She was looking for her to be an offensive power off the bench, but 2 charges proved otherwise. And Shea hasn't been able to pick up that slack. She's 6 points, 3 for 6 from the field. You'd like her to be a little bit more efficient if she's who you're looking for in every possession. But Greta Camp Schrader, only 3 points. She's knocked down a 3, only taken 2 field goals, and she's the reason that Michigan is winning right now. They have her defensive presence has just been next level.
Definitely. Really happy with Camp Schrader's showing in that first half.
Swords is starting to pick it up a little bit. Started slow, but then finished 6 points. Holloway has 10. Olsen has 8. Hobbs 7. So these 3 freshmen and then Hobbs and Camp Schrader, the starters for Michigan, have carried the load as they have all season long. And I think Coach Kim Barnes-Rico's found a lineup that she wants to utilize in March. Now here's the thing, Aydin. Against Michigan State, they also played a good first half. And then they lost the second half by 34 points, just the second half. What I think happened there, I don't think Kim Barnes-Rico did a good job of utilizing her timeouts. Michigan started the quarter up 4, the third quarter. She didn't call her first timeout, so they were like down 12. So if Oregon starts to go on a little bit of a run here, which they are completely capable of, I would love to see Coach Kim Barnes-Rico use a quick timeout, even to keep your team in this game. It's not worth it to save the timeouts to let them fall out of it.
Yep, like I said earlier, this is Big Ten basketball. It doesn't matter how well you, or how good of a first half you have, how good you start. You have to stay disciplined for the whole game, and that showed against Michigan State. So like I said, there's some streaky shooters on this Oregon side, and they haven't let them get hot yet, which is good. So they've got to stay disciplined and keep that consistency going into the second half.
In the second half, it will be Zack Schteingart and Jonas Tomkin on the call. Thank you for listening to Aydin Abdollahi and me, Theo Shernoff, for the first half. We'll step aside for about 9 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back soon. Thank you for listening.
And now at this time, we would like to honor survivors of all types of cancers, as well as those who have lost their lives, their families, their friends, and their caretakers. Fans, if you filled out an I Fight For sign today, please hold that up in the air. And if you are a survivor, a family member, a friend, or caretaker of someone who is battling or is battling any type of cancer, please stand and be recognized at this time. We are with you in this fight. Thank you all for your support today as we come together to make strides against breast cancer. Let's go blue and let's go pink. Fans, let's give it up one more time for all of these amazing women here on the board.
Welcome back to the Crisler Center here in Ann Arbor, where the Michigan Wolverines currently hold a 38-24 lead over their new Big Ten foe, the Oregon Ducks. The Ducks scored the first 2 points of this game, but it has been all Wolverines since then, as they have held the lead for the majority of this game. I'm Zack Schteingart, here alongside my friend and partner Jonas Tomkin. Jonas, what have you seen from the Wolverines in this game, and how do you think they can continue that and this momentum that they've built in the second half?
I mean, the Wolverines have just been playing with so much confidence on offense, and Oregon really hasn't been able to find anything to handle them. Coach Kelly Graves, obviously a very experienced head coach, this is his 11th season here at Oregon, has been trying to throw anything at these Wolverines, but nothing has really worked. And then on defense, the Wolverines are just playing very aggressive but disciplined defense. The Oregon Ducks have yet to shoot a free throw this game, and although they've tried to get to the basket, the Wolverines have not fouled them when it mattered for the Ducks, and it's really been a struggle for them. Another thing is the Wolverines have committed 7 turnovers, but the Ducks just have 2 points off those turnovers compared to the Oregon's 8 turnovers, and the Wolverines getting 10 points off those turnovers. So the Ducks have really failed to capitalize when they needed to. They came out strong in that second quarter, initially cut that Wolverine lead just to 5 points, but then went on a rough 2 for 15 from the field run after those initial 5 points, and it's really been a struggle for these Ducks, but we still got a half of basketball to play, and it should be an exciting second half of this Big Ten matchup.
It's worth mentioning that the Wolverines have not been too strong from beyond the arc in this game, shooting just 33%, but they have been very efficient inside the paint, and that is what has helped them build this big lead. Most of those points coming, as they have for much of this season, from that 3-headed freshman monster of Olivia Olson, Mila Holloway, and Silas Swords, who have really just put such a spark into this Wolverines team.
Definitely, and it's the freshmen who have come up big. Obviously, as you said, another player I'd like to mention is Greta Kampschrader, who's been guarding the 6'8" Tilly Che, and Tilly Che is the tallest Oregon Duck in their collegiate history to play, and Kampschrader just 6'1", Che 6'8". Kampschrader has done a pretty good job handling her, and it's really been a great performance in this first half for the Wolverines, but we'll see if they're able to bring it into the second half and continue that consistent play. We know they have struggled in the past. As Theo, our partner, said earlier, they played very well against Michigan State in the first half, but could not do anything in that second.
This has been a total team effort for the Wolverines so far. Just about everybody you can think of making a contribution, as Jordan Hobbs will inbound to Mila Holloway, and we are underway in the second half. Holloway takes it to the left wing, working on Scott. Now finds Olson at the top of the key. Swords on the right wing now. Swords gets it back to Kampschrader. A long three, it's good! Greta Kampschrader starts the second half with a bang for the Wolverines. And now the Ducks taking it back the other way with Kelly. Deja Kelly finds Mevius on the right wing. Now Mevius takes it to the left wing. Working on Holloway, now finds Kelly again. Kelly gets to the top of the key for Muhammad. Muhammad guarded by Hobbs. Now hands it off to cutting Mevius. Mevius a 3 from the top of the key. No good. Rebound, Muhammad. And I believe that will be a foul call.
Yeah, Ducks were shooting well from the 3-point line, shooting at a 40% clip, 4 for 10, but not able to get that one to go.
So now Mevius to inbound, gets it to Scott on the right wing, now finds Che inside. Che tries to put up the shot, and it gets blocked. Swords ends up with the ball, gets it to Holloway, who's taking it back now, gets it to Hobbs on the right wing. Hobbs finds Olson inside, down low in the paint. Olson puts up the shot. It's good with the foul. Olson has a chance for a 3-point play, and she continues her excellent play so far in this one. So Olson will now go to the line. She's an excellent free throw shooter, 82%.
Yeah, great aggressive move there from Olson to cut to the basket.
Olson's shot is up, and it rattles in, and it is a 44-24 lead for the Wolverines. And now The Ducks taking it back the other way with Mevius. Mevius gets it to Kelly. Now finds Muhammad at the top of the key, who gets it to Scott. Scott on the left wing now, looking around for a look. Now finds Mevius at the top of the key. Mevius takes it to the right wing. Now finds Kelly. Kelly gets it to Che down low. Now a three from the left wing. It's good. And that will be a three from Peyton Scott. And the Ducks cut the lead back to 17.
Exactly what the Ducks needed. They need to put some points on the board at the start of the second half.
Now the Wolverines have it. Hobbs trying to get inside, spins around. Now looks for an open player. She finds Swords. Swords gets it to Quarles Daniels, who drives. Oh, that's Holloway. And that'll be a foul called. And
yeah, Holloway doing a great job there to get down in the paint and got the foul as she took that shot from just under the right side of the basket. But the Wolverines doing a really good job of getting to the free throw line, and they've been efficient so far. We'll see if they continue that.
Holloway trying to put up 2 more points for the Wolverines. First shot is up and good. The Wolverines, much of their points in this game have come from the line, and they have been very efficient. Holloway's second shot is up and good, and the Wolverines' lead is back up to 19. So now Mevius takes it the other way for the Ducks. Finds Scott on the left wing. Now Scott at the top of the key, guarded by Olsen. Now gets it down low in the paint to Che, and that is going to be a defensive foul, I believe. I think that was Hobbs on Che. Hobbs ended up on the ground, but it'll be Che taking 2 shots from the line for the Ducks.
Yeah, Wolverines tried to double team on that left wing, but left Che open at the bottom, and she was able to get the 2 to go and with the foul.
Che's first shot is up and good.
Completes that 3-point play.
Yes. So now the Wolverines taking it the other way. Olsen on the left wing now goes around, finds Holloway. Holloway at the top of the key, looking to drive inside, loses it for a minute, but gets it back. Now Holloway looking around, tries to find Swords coming around. It goes off of Swords and out of bounds, and the Ducks will get a turnover.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, the Ducks are going to have to capitalize on these turnovers when Michigan doesn't get a bucket, because they really have had no problem putting the ball in the basket today.
So now the Ducks have it. This is Kelly working with it. Now finds Scott on the left wing. Scott takes it inside. Now finds Che in the paint. Che tries to work on Cam Schrader. The shot is no good, and the Wolverines are going to take it the other way.
Yeah, great defense there from Cam Schrader, not committing the foul against the Che, who's 7 inches taller than her, and really done a really good job against that big woman, excuse me.
Swords with it now, working on Mevius. Swords trying to go this way and that. Now finds Cam Schrader, who gets called for a travel. So the Wolverines tried to move the ball around a little bit there, but Cam Schrader was quite open there, but it'll be Ducks basketball.
Yeah, 2 straight turnovers for the Wolverines. They're going to want to limit that in this second half, especially if they want to maintain this lead against the Ducks.
Mevius takes it the other way now, working on Holloway. Now Mevius finds Kelly, now gets it back to Mevius, top of the key. Oh, that is Scott. Excuse me, no good. Now finds Muhammad. Muhammad gets it back to Scott. Scott directing some traffic. Now gets it inside to Che. Che puts up a shot. It's good. The Ducks have really been relying on Che's presence down in the paint, and that time it gets them some points. It's back to a 46-32 lead. Now Holloway for the Wolverines at the top of the key.
Yeah, Cam Schrader checked out of the game, and now Alyssa Crockett is guarding Che, and we'll see how she handles her.
Olsen at the top of the key. A fadeaway jumper. It's good. Olivia Olsen just continuing to make things happen for the Wolverines, and they get it back to a 16-point lead. Now for the Ducks, it's Kelly trying to work inside. That layup is good. A lefty layup there for Deja Kelly, and these 2 teams just continuing to go back and forth. Now Holloway takes it back up for the Wolverines, and this is going to be a timeout here.
Yeah, Deja Kelly, the leading scorer for the Ducks, going up strong there from that left side and got some contact, but no foul. And 14-point lead here, for the Wolverines, and KBA taking a bit of a precautionary timeout as the Ducks are seemingly trying to get back into this game a little bit, and some turnovers for the Wolverines was not looking promising, and a quick timeout should reset that and slow down any momentum the Ducks were trying to build.
These two teams have been trading blows for the majority for this entire quarter so far, and that certainly shows in the box score as it is 10-10 apiece in the third quarter so far.
Yeah, and Coach Kelly Graves, his record with the Ducks as their head coach, like I said earlier, this is his 11th season coaching the Ducks, 221-11 record. So really one of the most successful coaches in college basketball, and obviously was Pac-12 Coach of the Year in 2019 and 2020, has led the Ducks to the NCAA tournament in March many times and has yet to win a national championship, but really a successful coach. Been coaching since 1989, so really experienced. And if you want anyone coaching your team to get back into this game and cut down this lead in the second half, it's Kelly Graves.
We've got two very experienced coaches on both sides of the court today. Graves and Barnes-Arico have been with their respective teams for over a decade, and both of them have almost over 3 decades of coaching experience. So they certainly know how to lead their teams, and they have experienced quite a bit of success over the years. But this is a very crucial game for both of these teams in terms of tournament positioning. Both teams in very similar spots right now, trying to prove that they can get into the upper tier of both the Big Ten and positioning in the tournament. As Theo mentioned earlier, right now this would be an 8-9 matchup in the tournament. So this is definitely a crucial game for both of these teams to ascend to a higher tier of play and get some better positioning in the tournament. So it'll be Jordan Hobbs to inbound. She gets it to Holloway. Holloway takes it to the top of the key, now finds Olsen on the right wing. Olsen gets it back to Hobbs. Hobbs contested a bit, now finds Holloway in the corner. Holloway pulls up for 2. No good. Rebound by the Ducks. Taking it back the other way quickly is Deja Kelly. Now finds Scott on the right wing. Scott gets it inside to Muhammad. Muhammad working inside, puts up the layup off the glass, and it's good. The Ducks cut the lead back down to 12 with Holloway taking it back the other way for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Muhammad putting a body there on Silas Swords, and pretty hard, but no foul call from the refs, and good bucket there for Muhammad.
Olsen now at the top of the key, now finds on the right wing Swords. Swords gets it back to Holloway. Holloway in the left corner for Olsen. The freshman trio for the Wolverines sharing the ball now. Gets it back to Holloway. Holloway trying to work inside now. Back to Swords. A deep 3 from Swords is no good. Couldn't tell for a little bit whether it went in or not, but it will be no good. So now the Ducks with it on the other end. It's Che at the top of the key. Inside to Muhammad. Puts up the layup. It's no good. Rebound Van Timmeren.
Great defense there from Jordan Hobbs, not letting Muhammad get up to the basket.
So now Holloway inside. A layup off the glass is good. Mila Holloway gets the Wolverines back on track. So now for the Ducks, it is Deja Kelly on the left wing. Kelly tries to take it around the end now. Now gets it out to Mevius on the right wing. Mevius, a floater inside is good. And so these two teams just continuing to trade blows down in the paint. Holloway takes it the other way now for the Wolverines at the right wing. She is guarded by Scott. Finds Olsen in the right corner. Olsen trying to come around to the top of the key. Now finds Swords right there. Passes it inside to Hobbs. Hobbs working inside. A lefty layup is good. Jordan Hobbs gets the Wolverines back up to a 14-point lead. Now Mevius takes it the other way for the Ducks, trying to direct some traffic. Guarded by Holloway at the top of the key. Finds Muhammad, and this will be waiting for the call here. This is going to be a timeout called by Kim Barnes-Arico here.
Yeah, and Michigan not playing as well as they did in the first half, you might say. And Oregon obviously off to a much better start, tied in this quarter 14-14, and still not been able to cut that lead by too much. And KBA taking her second timeout already of the quarter, and really does not want to let these Ducks build any momentum, as they've been able to get the ball down into the paint. Muhammad doing a good job of getting under the paint, playing aggressive, and hasn't been able to get all her shots to fall, but the Ducks looking a little bit more promising in this second half. We'll see if they're able to cut this Wolverine down any more from 14.
This Wolverine defense, which was so stifling in the first half, they only allowed 9 points from the Ducks in the second quarter. Starting to show some cracks a little bit, but the offense has been right there to pick up their slack, which is why these two teams have scored an equal amount here in this third quarter. But that defense in the first half was really playing aggressive, and it paid off for them, forcing a lot of turnovers. I think one notable one was Greta Kampstrader stripping it right out of the hands of the 6'8" Shea. Really just a great heads-up play there by Kampstrader, and really shows that the philosophy that the Wolverines want to have on defense this afternoon.
Yeah, Kampstrader has definitely been the biggest presence on defense for these Wolverines, and since she came out of the game in this third quarter, you can really see the difference and see how much more aggressive Oregon is trying to be, especially down low in the paint. And KBA playing a bit of small ball. Obviously the 6'8" center for the Ducks hasn't been too much of a problem. Obviously, she is their top scorer, 11 points. Second is Katie Fiso with just 7 points for the Ducks, but still keeping her fairly under control, and even with that height advantage, the Wolverines have done a good job of not letting her get too carried away in the paint.
The Ducks have really been relying on Shea in the paint so far in this quarter. They've been trying to get her a lot of looks down low. She is their leading scorer, but the Ducks still face this deficit, so we will see if they try to go back from beyond the arc or if they keep relying on the big body down in the paint.
Yeah, looks like Shea checked out of the game, but 7 points per game coming into the game, already 11 today, so she's done a good job and obviously needs a bit of a break, been on the court a while.
Inbound by Mevius. Brooke Quarles-Daniels now checks into the game for the Wolverines. Deja Kelly with a jumper from the corner, no good. Rebound Swords, taking it quickly back up the other way. Silas Swords, jump stop, no good. Puts up the layup, no good. Tries to get it back inside, but it will go off the Ducks, and the Wolverines will retain possession.
Yeah, Sarah Rambis, the Flint, Michigan native, checks back into the game for the Oregon Ducks. Yet to get her first points. She'll be looking to put one in the basket.
Hobbs on the inbound, but we get a foul called here. Foul called on the Ducks. So Hobbs will get a redo here on the inbound. And she gets it to Van Timmeren, who gets it right back to Hobbs. Hobbs driving inside now. Now finds a cutting Swords in the lane. No good, the layup. Rebound by the Ducks, taking it back up quickly the other way is Kelly. Kelly puts up the righty layup, it's no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Ducks are going to retain possession here.
Yeah, nice hustle there from Rambis, trying to get the rebound in between about 3 Michigan players and able to keep the ball in Oregon's possession.
So now the Ducks will inbound here with Mevius. Mevius lobs it out to Kelly on the left wing, gets it out. Now from the left wing, a 3 ball, no good. That was Falateo's check back into the game, the 3 no good. Now Swords gets it to Kampstrader on the left wing for the Wolverines. Now finds Swords again. Swords gets to the top of the key, finds Olsen inside. Quarles-Daniels tries to cut inside. Olsen keeps it, tries to drive inside. Now tries to get it to Quarles-Daniels, but it's stolen by the Ducks. And coming with it back the other way is Mevius. And she puts it up, and a foul is going to be called on Kampstrader, and Mevius is going to go to the line.
Yeah, great snatch there from Mevius. Saw the pass all the way. She does lead the Oregon Ducks in steals, so kind of saw that coming from Mevius, and she's going to go to the line here.
Mevius, the junior from Rendsburg, Germany. She is a very good free throw shooter at 80%. And her first shot is up and good. Nothing but nut there.
Yeah, Mevius known for her defense. Before, when she was at Siena College, she was the Metro Atlantic Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
Second free throw good, and the score is 52-40 now. The Ducks cutting into this Wolverine lead a little bit, and we'll see how the Wolverines respond. It's going to be Camp Schrader to inbound.
Yeah, Ducks going with a bit of a press here, trying to put the Wolverines on a little bit of pressure, under a little bit of pressure, excuse me.
Quarles Daniels with the ball now tries to drive inside, and a lot of contact there. The Ducks trying to strip the ball away from her, and that is going to be Ducks ball.
Yeah, good double team there from Kelly and Rambis, and able to force the jump ball and get the ball back into the Ducks' possession.
Sophia Bell now back in the game, inbounds it to Mevius. Mevius finds Kelly on the right wing. Kelly guarded by Swords. Now Kelly finds at the top of the key, tries to drive inside, but no good for Falatea there. Now Swords takes it back up the other way, finds Hobbs. Hobbs on the right wing now, finds Holloway on the other wing. Holloway to Olsen in the corner. Olsen puts up the three. It's good! Olivia Olsen just cannot be stopped in this game today. The Ducks take it back up the other way with Kelly. Kelly, now Falatea in the corner, down low. Tries to drive inside now, some contact, and it's a travel call. It's Wolverines ball.
Great ball movement there from the Ducks, but Mevius, unfortunate there, got the travel called on her as she passed it into the paint, finding Rambis, who had an open layup, but obviously the travel call not going to let that go through, and Katie Fizo is going to check back into the game, the freshman out of Seattle, Washington.
So Hobbs inbounds it to Holloway, taking it back up the court.
Bit of a half-court press here for the Ducks.
Yeah. Olsen wide open inside. Quick pass, and layup is good. Great ball movement there by the Wolverines, and Olsen gets a great look inside. Back up to 17-point lead. Now Kelly back for the Ducks. A three from the right wing. It is good. Oh, no good. Excuse me. So the Swords back on the other end now. Gets it to Camp Schrader in the left corner. Puts up the three. It's good. The Wolverines getting back on track from three here. And it is back to a 20-point lead for the Wolverines as a timeout called here, I believe, by the Ducks.
Yeah, and Coach Kelly Graves not liking what he's seeing, calling that timeout. And Michigan shot 58% from the field in the first half, and you were kind of expecting that to go down just as the game progressed. It's hard to keep shooting at such an efficient manner, but as of that three, they're shooting 61% from the field, 23 for 38, and now shooting 46% from three after shooting in around 33% in that first half. So they have really picked it up offensively the second half, especially in this last minute where they've gone on an 8-0 run, made 3 of their last 3 field goals, 5 of their last 7. So Michigan unstoppable on offense right now.
The Wolverines' inefficiency from three was one of the things we mentioned at the top of this half, but they have really gotten back on track in that area now, and that is why the lead is back up to 20 now. So now the Ducks coming the other way. It's Fiso.
Trying to end their 3-minute scoring drought here.
Fiso tries to take it to the left wing. Now hands it off to Deja Kelly. Kelly drives inside. A fadeaway jumper. No good. Rebound by the Ducks. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebound, Delphos. Delphos gets it out to Swords, and the Wolverines will take it back the other way. Gets it out to Olsen, excuse me. Now Delphos in the corner, tries to drive inside, puts up the shot, blocked. So now the Ducks taking it back the other way. In the left corner now. Top of the key, this is Bell who winds up with the ball. Now from corner three, no good. Bell diving for the rebound, ends up with Fiso. Fiso gets it to Falatea, down in the paint now. And a foul is called. That is Sarah Rambis, the Michigan native.
Yeah, Rambis is going to be able to get to the line, and hopefully put some points on the board. I'm sure she's got some family here, being from Flint, Michigan, and obviously not how she wanted Oregon to play visiting here at the Crisler Center in Ann Arbor, but 2 shots here for her to get some points on the board and end this scoring drought for the Ducks.
Rambis, a 69% free throw shooter. The crowd really letting her hear it now. And their first shot is no good. That is the first free throw missed by either team today. But she will get another shot here. Shooting right in front of the band, who's really trying to make some noise, and that shot is good. So the Ducks cut into the lead a little bit now, and it's Holloway taking it back now for the Wolverines. Holloway, patient. Maybe trying to dribble out the clock a little bit here. Not really much movement anywhere else on the court for the Wolverines. Seems like they're just trying to take it down and get into the fourth quarter. Holloway driving around now. Step back jumper, no good. Rebound for a moment there by Hobbs. Now the Ducks end up with it with Bell. And it's deflected. Delphos puts up the shot. Off the glass, it's good, a buzzer beater. Oh my goodness, Tayala Delphos throws up a prayer, and it goes in off the glass. Wow, what a moment for Tayala Delphos there. And the Wolverines will go into the fourth quarter with a 22-point lead at 63-41. This crowd is absolutely electric right now.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. The Ducks actually had a chance to get some points on the board before this quarter end, but Sophia Bell threw it, and it was deflected by a Michigan defender, ended up in the hands of Delphos. She actually had about 3 seconds to get her shot off, but rushed it, just chucked it about 3 feet from behind the three-point line, and not the best form and a bit rushed, but banks it off the glass, and this crowd erupts, and so does that Michigan Wolverines bench as they really got into this, and Wolverines taking a 20-plus point lead into this fourth quarter, and it's going to be really hard for the Ducks to get back into this game with just 10 minutes to go.
Both the first and third quarter here ending with buzzer beaters this afternoon. That one seemed most improbable, but Tayala Delphos got it to go, and that was just an unbelievable moment there.
Yeah, what a way to get your first points of the game. 1 for 3 from the field before that. 0 for 2 from three-point land, and obviously needed a bit of that extra pressure for that three-pointer to land, and you love to see it, and that really got this crowd going, as I said before.
Great moment there for the freshman, yet another one on this Wolverines team. But yes, that just continuing the Wolverines' hot streak from beyond the arc in the third quarter. Something they really hadn't been able to get going for most of the game, but that was really their strength on offense, especially toward the end of that quarter in the back half. And the defense also really tightened up toward the end there. The Wolverines end that third quarter outscoring the Ducks 25-17 after being even with them for much of the quarter in the box score.
Yeah, and Wolverines went on an 11-1 run in the last 2 minutes of that quarter. Oregon going 0 for their last 8 from the field, and really unfortunate for those Ducks who looked like they were creeping back into this game, but unable to. I'm going to be on play-by-play on this fourth quarter. Schteingart, thank you for calling that first one, and here's Holloway at the half court who's going to take it towards this left wing. Fizo guarding her. Here's Delphos at the top of the key, looking for a pass. Finds Olsen. Olsen gives it to Camp Schrader. Here's Hobbs at the left wing. Finds Olsen on the right wing. Olsen trying to cut inside. Bell on her. The reverse layup is no good, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Oregon Ducks ball. 30 seconds gone in this fourth quarter. Still a 22-point lead for the Michigan Wolverines. Here's Fizo taking it up the key. Fiso finds Bell on the right wing. Hobbs guarding her. Rambis into Che, back into the game. Unable to get the layup to go, and then pushes Holloway to the ground, and there's going to be a foul called on Che, and 11 points so far in this game, and hopefully they'll get some more production out of her in this fourth quarter. Here's Holloway.
That was an easy call for the officials, just a blatant shove there by Che.
A little bit of frustration here from the Ducks. Here's Hobbs cutting inside at the free throw line, puts up the shot a little long. Rebound for Ari Long, who's getting her first minutes in the game. She's on the right wing. Here's Fizo taking to the top of the key, trying to drive in. Gets double teamed, finds Che towards the middle, kicks it out. Here's Long with the three, no good. Delphaz with the rebound, gives it to Hobbs, who's going to take it up the court. Finds Olsen on the right wing. Back to Hobbs, great play. Puts up the right-handed layup, no good. Rebound Bell. She's going to take it up the court. She's got Long in the left corner. Finds Fizo at the top of the key. Holloway guarding her. Bell to Long, the three, no good.
Ari Long, her first few minutes of the afternoon, and she's already been trusted to take 2 3-point shots here. And that's what I think we're going to start seeing down the stretch here for the Ducks facing this deficit. They're going to try to get some of their bench players involved, get a few minutes in, get some game time experience.
Yeah, 1 minute 35 seconds gone in this fourth quarter as Peyton Scott's going to check back into the game. Ari Long, just 1 minute 30 seconds in this game. And Kelly Graves not giving too much time for that little experiment and still playing with that half-court press, and Michigan not having much trouble beating it. Here's Olsen on the right wing, back to Hobbs. Holloway at the left wing. Trying to get past Bell, cuts inside, layup no good. Rebound Camptrader, kicks it out to Hobbs. Here's Olsen, wide open three. That's good!
Quick ball movement there from the Wolverines. It really catches the Ducks defense off guard. And that's what they needed to get the scoring in the fourth quarter started.
Yeah, here's Katie Fiso. Gives it to Peyton Scott at the free throw line. She's going to take it back behind the three line on this right wing. She's got Hobbs on her. Gives it to Che. Camptrader guarding her. Finds Etute. The layup no good. Trying to get her own rebound. There's a fight for it. It's going to end up with Holloway, who's going to take it up the court. Gives it to Hobbs. He's got a wide open lane on the left. Chooses the pull-up three. No good. Rebound Che. Foul from behind there on Delphaz, and Michigan now with a 25-point lead with 7 minutes, 29 seconds to go in this fourth quarter, and Oregon still struggling to get the ball in the basket, put points on the board, have yet to score this fourth quarter. Just 3 points from Michigan, but still unable to put anything on the board, and Katie Fiso is going to take it up the court. Here's Bell. Bell kicks it out to Scott, who gives it to Che down low, and it's going to be a jump ball. Great defense there from Camptrader, who really has had no problem guarding Che, who is 7 inches taller, as we've mentioned before, and playing very confident but disciplined here on defense. Peyton Scott with the pull-up jumper from the left side, no good. Olsen with the rebound, gives it to Holloway. Holloway gives it to Delphaz, cuts inside, and blocking foul there on Etute, and
not much going here for either team so far in the fourth. The Wolverines have been fortunate enough to get 1-3 so far, but the Ducks really, really struggling here so far to find some points.
Holloway on the inbound, looking for someone, finds Delphaz, excuse me. Gonna kick it out to Quarles Daniels. Back to Holloway at the top of the key. She's got guarding her. Here's Holloway, trying to cut inside, gets past Etute on the right side. The layup, no good. Rebound Che. Here's Fizo taking it up the court, trying to cut inside. The pull-up jumper, no good. Quarles Daniels with the rebound. She's going to find Holloway on this right side. Takes it past half court. She's got Olsen in the corner, finds her. Olsen cuts inside. Back to Holloway at the top of the three. The three is good! Mila Holloway hits from the top of the key. Perfect swish, nothing but net, and the Wolverines unable to be stopped at the moment.
Holloway,
lead up to 28, excuse me.
Holloway making it happen for the Wolverines here in this game, 17 points.
There's Etute guarded by Delphaz, and it's going to be a foul there on Delphaz as Etute tried to cut towards the basket, and it's going to be Alexis Whitfield checking into the game for the Ducks, and Alyssa Crockett checking in for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Whitfield seeing her first minutes of the game since the first half, I believe.
Fizo on the inbound for the Ducks, finds Etute, back to Fizo in the right corner, trying to get to Etute, missed pass, but it's going to end up with Whitfield. She's trying to get inside, double team, finds Fizo, Scott at the top of the key. Here's Bell with the three from the left wing, no good.
Wolverines gave them absolutely no room to work before there. They were in their face wherever the Ducks looked.
Here's Holloway on the right wing, guarded by Scott. Cam Schrader comes for the screens. Holloway takes it inside, gives it back to Cam Schrader. Here's Olsen at the top of the key. Back to Holloway. Good first step. Takes the layup from the right side, and it is good. 71-41, a 30-point lead here for the Wolverines. Oregon Ducks yet to score a point in the first 4.5 minutes of this fourth quarter, and really no chance for Kelly Graves' squad to get back into this game, as he's going to call a timeout here for the Ducks.
The momentum has completely swung in the Wolverines' favor here so far. For much of this game, it seemed like the Wolverines, even though they had a sizable lead for much of the game, it always felt like the Ducks were just waiting to cut right back to it and get it down to a very narrow lead. But the Wolverines have just completely blown it open here so far, and it is now a 30-point lead here. Things are looking pretty bleak for the Ducks here, but we will see what transpires here in the last 5.5 minutes of this one.
Yeah, and the Ducks coming into this game, we're on a 4-game winning streak. We're at Michigan State last week and was able to beat them in a tight matchup, 63-59, and a 3-game homestand before that, all wins there with a 1-point win against Iowa. But looks like this 4-game win streak is going to come to an end. They'll head back to Portland. They'll head back to Oregon after this game for a 4-game homestand versus Maryland, UCLA, Washington, and Minnesota. So a couple more Big Ten matchups for these Oregon Ducks. They've played much better at home on the season, 13-1, and just 5 away games coming into this game. So looks like they still need to get their feet set when they don't have that home crowd advantage.
Absolutely, and on the other side, the Wolverines here snapping a 2-game losing streak, getting back on track here in front of their home crowd. And once again, it's been Olivia Olsen with really the hot hand for the Wolverines. She had 30 points in the last game against the Wisconsin Badgers, and here today she's got 18. Her and Mila Holloway toe-to-toe in the leaderboard for points scored here this afternoon. Holloway's got 19.
Yeah, and Olivia Olsen shooting 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, has just been incredibly efficient, and she's been getting open looks, and she really hasn't missed any of them. And you love to see this from, if you're KBA, you love to see this from your squad, hosting a Big Ten opponent, a good Big Ten opponent nonetheless, and really having no problem handling them.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, this is a crucial game for both teams as we start to get in the last stretch before March here, and the Wolverines are really showing out so far.
We'll begin play again. Here's Fizo with the Ducks on the right side, guarded by Corals Daniels, trying to cut inside, cuts back, and it's going to be a foul against Corals Daniels, a hold there on Fizo. Fizo, just 143 minutes coming into the game, but has seen a lot of time on the court today, and for good reason. She's played pretty well and has done a pretty good job against this tough Wolverines defense. The inbound from Scott finds Whitfield, but the jumper is not going to be able to go. Here's Holloway taking up the court on this right side. Finds Crockett in the corner for 3, long. Rebound Corals Daniels. Here's Olsen in the left corner, finds Crockett. Posts up, finds Holloway for 3, no good from the right wing, and it's going to go out of bounds there, and it's going to be Oregon Ducks possession, but still 0 points from the Ducks in the first 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. So something is going to have to change if you're Kelly Graves, and Ari Long's going to check into the games as well as Sarah Rambis, and just trying anything at this point. And
yeah,
Yulia Grabovskaya is going to check in for the Michigan Wolverines. as looks like Tilly Chai is not in the game anymore, and putting that big man on to guard Rambis. Here's Fizo taking it up the court on the right wing, guarded by Quarles Daniels, directing traffic. Rambis at the top of the key, looking for Scott, unable to find her. Here's Ari Long. Scott in the corner, cuts inside, and it's going to be a foul called against Macy Brown, it looks like.
Yeah, you mentioned Grabovskaya. Typically such a huge presence for the Wolverines down low in the paint and on defense, but they've been able to get by without her today. The only true center on this roster.
Yeah, here's Fizo with the inbound, finds Etute, the top of the key, gives it back to Fizo on this left wing, guarded by Olsen. Olsen giving her that right side, trying to cut inside, but ends up getting triple teamed, and it's going to be a foul called on Alyssa Crockett, and as Fizo was trying to get her shot off, and she's going to get 2 from the line.
Crowd not too happy about that call.
Fizo 5 for 8 from the line coming into the game. Really hasn't had that many minutes for the Ducks, but getting her time here and has really been playing aggressively, playing well, not too much to show for it. First free throw is good. Eight points on the day for Katie Fiso, as we mentioned, the Washington State Gatorade Player of the Year last year. Second free throw is good as well. Gets her up to 9 points on the day. Here's Crockett. The Wolverines trying to beat that half-court press of the Ducks, really having no trouble doing so. Crockett at the top of the key. Here's Olsen on the left wing. Thought about shooting it. There's Brown. Here's Quarles Daniels on the right wing. Kicks it all the way across to Crockett on the left wing. Now Brown to Grabovskaya in the paint. Posts up. Layup is good. Left-handed layup over Sarah Rambis. No problem for the Michigan center.
And that is why her presence is so valued there down in the paint. She can really get you those big-time buckets there.
Lead back up to 30 for the Wolverines. Just under 4 minutes to go. Left-handed layup from Fizo. Cut in well from that left wing and got the left-handed layup to go. Gets her to double-digit points. Here's Brown for the Wolverines. Gives it to Crockett on this right wing. Crockett is going to get called for a travel there. Mays Rage and the Wolverines fans not too happy about that call, but the Oregon Ducks will take it. 3.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. 28-point lead here for the Wolverines. Looks like Katie Fiso is going to have to. Shoe got untied as she's trying to tie quickly and get this game going. And maybe some tired legs as she has spent a lot of time on the court. 21 minutes, third highest on the team, Here's Fizo on this right side. Gives it to Etute at the top of the key. Etute to Scott on the right wing. Double team there from Grabovskaya and Olsen. Grabovskaya is going to go back and get her man. Here's Ari Long. Gives it to Scott on the right wing. It's going to get stripped away by Quarles Daniels. Scott sticks with it, though. Going in. Tries to get the reverse jumper. No good. And it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Ducks.
Yeah, took the shot clock all the way down without really getting an open look there. They were really trying hard to make some things happen. But the shot clock violation there, and now the Wolverines will get the ball back.
Here's Swords. Gives it to Crockett. Finds Quarles Daniels. Tries to get it to Grabovskaya in the paint. It's going to go out of bounds and stay here with Michigan.
And as we're seeing the Ducks dig into their bench to get some other players some minutes, so we're seeing the Wolverines do the same thing as well with Crockett and Brown. Brown, a sophomore who also in her Michigan career has not had too much experience, but we will see if that changes today.
Quick inbound there to Grabovskaya, who tries to get the shot up and is fouled and is going to go to the line for 2. And I'd like to mention Oregon 11 turnovers, Michigan 12 turnovers on the day, so they haven't been too safe with the ball, but Oregon just 6 points off those turnovers, Michigan 15 off the turnovers, and Oregon, it's been a trend all game, unable to capitalize on Michigan mistakes.
And I think that's a huge reason we're seeing what we are on the scoreboard right now.
First free throw is good from Grabovskaya. Second free throw in and out, and rebounded by Etute, and she's gonna get fouled, and looks like Oregon is in the bonus, so she is going to go to the line, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she is.
So not the cleanest game on the score sheet for the Wolverines in terms of turnovers, but their incredible offensive efficiency has really masked that, and it has gotten things done for them here.
First free throw for Etute is long, no good. Michigan lead at 29, just under 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. The second free throw is good from Etute, 74-46, 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Crockett gives it to Brown, beating that half-court press easily. Olsen trying to find Quarles Daniels in the paint, but some good defense there from the Ducks. Here's Fizo taking it up the court on the right wing. Fizo finds Rambis just inside the right corner. Rambis trying to post up Crockett, gives it to Ari Long at the top of the key. Long trying to take it in that left side. Here's Fizo at the top of the key. Fizo trying to find Etute, but picked off there from Crockett. Finds Quarles Daniels, cuts inside, the layup, no good. But she's going to be fouled by Katie Fizo and is going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
We have seen a lot of shots from the line for both teams this afternoon, 19 each as a matter of fact, but a big difference on the score sheet that is really contributing to the overall score is that the Ducks are only, that it's actually, 19 free throws combined for either team.
First free throw is good from Quarles Daniels.
Both teams actually been pretty efficient, but yeah, the Wolverines getting it done there.
Second one is good
with
for
a little more efficiency.
Here's Fizo taking it up the court. On this right wing, guarded by Quarles Daniels. Out to Long at the top of the key. Long finds Falatea in that left corner. Still with the ball at the left wing, Here's Katie Fizo at the top of the key, trying to cut inside. Looking for someone and unable to find anyone. Ari Long doing a good job of keeping that ball in play, but it's going to end up being a shot clock violation. Just over a minute and a half left in this fourth quarter. Here's Olsen on the ball, gives it to Brown at the top of the key, standing on that block M. Here's Crockett out on the left wing, calls for the screen from Olsen, but just hands it off. Olsen guarded by Fizo. Brown, open 3 in the corner, rattles in and out. Quarles Daniels with the rebound, though, and puts it right back in. No one seemingly saw Quarles Daniels coming, and easy putback there for her.
Great awareness from her there to get a quick, easy bucket.
Definitely. Here's Ari Long at the top of the key at the free throw line, trying to get a shot off, and is going to try and pass it into the paint, but tipped away by Graboskaya. Finds Quarles Daniels, cuts inside from the left side, and the layup is good.
How about Quarles Daniels having a little moment of her own here down the stretch as she's got 2 back-to-back buckets.
Yeah, 34-point lead here for the Michigan Wolverines with just under a minute to go in this fourth quarter, and Wolverines have really run away with it here in the fourth quarter. Just 5 points from the Ducks here in the opening 7 minutes of the quarter. 9. Here's Katie Fizo at the top of the key. Finds Falatea. Quick first step, tries to cut inside, not able to. Ari Long on the right wing. Back to Falatea on the left wing. Cross-court pass to Ari Long. Tries to get the shot up. The pull-up jumper is good. Great shot there over Ayanna Dunbar.
Cross-court passing there from the Ducks, and it leads to a bucket.
Just 20 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. 32-point lead, and looks like Macy Brown is going to try and hold on to it to the end. Alyssa Crockett now. Here's Quarles Daniels standing on that block M at the top of the key. Back to Brown on the left wing. She's going to cut inside. Gives it to Crockett in the corner. Quarles Daniels, quick first step on Falatea. Brown, it's going to get knocked away, and it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Wolverines, but just 0.4 of a second to go in this fourth quarter, and that about wraps it up here.
Yeah, the Wolverines not too interested in running out some clock here, but now it goes down, the game's over.
Great win here for the Michigan Wolverines to snap their 2-game losing streak. The Oregon Ducks came into the game winning their last 4, but really had no answer for the Michigan Wolverines and their offense, and the Ducks struggled on offense as well, as this game is going to end 80-48 for the Michigan Wolverines here at the Crisler Center in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I would say this is one of the strongest wins of Michigan's season so far. Just an all-around fantastic performance against a Big Ten opponent who was in a very similar situation to them. As we mentioned, this is a crucial game for both teams in terms of tournament positioning, and the Wolverines came out hot right out of the gate, almost a wire-to-wire win, if not for the 2-0 lead that the Ducks had at the beginning of the game. But I think KBA really loves to see her very young team gelling like this, and now seeing that they are capable of putting on a performance like this against a strong opponent is really going to inspire confidence all around.
Yeah, and Oregon Ducks really struggled offensively all game. We're outscored in every quarter, only shooting 30% from the field and just 26% from the three-point line, in opposite to Michigan's 54% from the field, which we weren't expecting to stay that high into the second half, and shooting 45% from 3, 9 for 20, which is pretty unbelievable as a team that hasn't shot amazing from the three-point line this season, but they really put on a show today for us. And very entertaining game here, especially if you're a Wolverines fan, and unfortunate for the Ducks as they'll head back to Oregon for a 4-game homestand where they'll look to turn around after this tough loss here in Ann Arbor.
And the Wolverines also definitely didn't shoot amazing from beyond the arc in the first half today, but they really turned that around in the second half, and I think that's just what led to the explosion on offense that we saw in the second half, and what a great momentum builder for the Wolverines heading down into the final month of the season here, and we will see if they can continue this level of play coming up.
Yeah, and that will give the Wolverines a 6-5 record here in Big Ten play, a huge win, as we said already, for KBA and her squad. And Zach, unless you have anything else you'd like to say about this game, I think that's going to do it for us.
No, that just about wraps it up. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, the Michigan Wolverines 80, the Oregon Ducks 48. Huge win for the Michigan Wolverines, and that's going to do it for us. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports here on YouTube, the official student voice for Michigan Athletics, and live from the Crisler Center. We're going to leave it from you guys. I'm Jonas Tomkin, alongside me Zack Schteingart, calling this second half. In the first half, you heard Theo, Shernoff, and Aydin Abdollahi, and as we said before, thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports.